Hey guys, I've got about 24 minutes before I have to go back to work, 25 anyway. But I didn't get really a chance to talk about this past week because one, it was Sunday and, didn't have, we, just decided to relax a little bit. And also the fact that, the fact that any time I'd be watching the Microsoft press conference, that basically the stream would kind of freeze up a little bit and I have to reload it or kind of restart it on my PS4. But anyway, I wanted to talk about or give my reactions and thoughts on the one thing that a lot of people were looking forward to this year. Now, Microsoft has been teasing and talking about Project Scorpio. Well, apparently we found out what Project Scorpio was. Well, so we think. And what it is nothing more than another revised version of the Xbox One. Now, of course, we got the Xbox One, the original one, out. We have the Xbox S, and now we are going to be getting the Xbox X. That's right, we're going to be getting the Xbox X. And what's unique about this, I guess, is one, it's a smaller Xbox. As a matter of fact, they're saying it's the smallest they've ever made. And they're coming out and saying it's the most powerful console out there. Here's why. They said that the one thing, they said to the text and specs, and I'm not going to go through all that, but basically they said that you are going to get a true 4K experience. From everything from, you're going to, from everything from the picture, the sound, the HDR, everything. And they said it's all basically done thanks to what's known as the Scorpio engine. As the Scorpio, and it's all thanks to, partially thanks, if not mostly thanks, to something they call the Scorpio engine. Now, they said a lot of things that they listened to the consumer, and one of the things that they have noted is that a lot of stuff on the Xbox One X, is going to be better than before. You're going to have faster load times. You'll be able to play your Xbox One games on there. I think there's a possibility that 360 will go back on there. The 360 will be backwards compatible on there. So they said everything is going to look better with this. They even said all your accessories on the Xbox One and Xbox One S are going to be compatible, from controllers, headsets, you name it. They even said that connecting it is easy because the back of the system is going to have the same connect ports in position. Or it's going to have the same positioned. Basically, they said that the back of the system, when you connect, it's going to be easy because all you would have to do, if you don't want to use the wires, I guess, that come with it, is you'll be able to just switch out the cables and stuff on your Xbox One or Xbox One S over to the Xbox One X, because all the ports on the back are in the same positions in places as they are on the other Xbox One consoles. Now that sounds great and everything, but when I heard about this, I kind of agree with Angry Joe and I think a few other people. Quite honestly, it sounds great, but you still need to really back up your claim. You need to back up your claim that it's going to be a true 4K experience. You got to back up your claim that it's the most powerful console out there. You know, you got to back this all up. Now, they said one of the things that they did work around was to kind of make the system probably not just more compatible or compact, if you will, and easy to use and stuff. But one of the things they did say, one of the things they did mention is the ventilation. Now, we know for any of us that have an Xbox One or Xbox One S that the ventilation system's on top. And that's okay as long as you have nothing on top of it. Now the ventilation system is going to be on the sides. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, fine. But I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. You know, if you want to place something on top of your Xbox One X, that's fine. But, you know, that's fine. But again, what's the point if you're using an Xbox One already and you've got it cleared of anything on top of it? I don't understand. Now, here's the one thing that got me. Here's the one thing that I look at. One thing that did get my interest, but I'm figuring, yeah, that's cool and everything, but, you know, I think they're just doing this because they realize, hey, if we don't throw something in there that maybe Sony didn't do with the PS4 Pro, then we're pretty much screwed all the way around. And what they announced was, with the Xbox One X, even though pretty much they came out and said, hey, this is a 4K system, this is for 4K televisions only, da 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 da. What they did, I guess, to kind of save the butts, in my opinion, is they said that even if you don't have an Xbox One X, even if you don't have a 4K television, that the Xbox One X will still look good on 1080p. In other words, they said they got this filtering system or whatever it is, system program that's going to make the games look crisper and clearer than they ever have, even on a 1080p television. And I'm thinking, okay, fine, that's good, that's nice. Sorry about that. But like I said, it's like I was saying, you know, it's like, okay, that's cool, that's nice. But here's the thing. It's cool and it's as nice as that is, you know, to at least say, hey, the Xbox One X will still work good on your 1080p television. It'll make things look a lot crisper and clearer. You know, that's all great. That sounds great. But you can have and here's the thing. You can have all these special features. You can have all these new specs and everything up to the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player. But again, in the end, like Joe said, it's like Angry Joe said, it's all about what the overall result in the end. You know, is it going to be worth people to go out and pluck? Or basically, is it going to be worth people's time and effort to go out and fork over literally $500 just to get a new Xbox One system? But like I said, you know, is it going to be worth people's money to pluck down $500, if not more so, just to get another Xbox One? All because this one is basically, I think as some person put it on that YouTube panel that Joe was a part of, is it just their answer to the PS4 Pro? You know, I mean, look, when the PS4 Pro came out, that was great and everything. And it basically allowed people to have a better, true experience. Excuse me for a second. I got about 14 minutes, well 15 minutes, but anyway, did it allow people to have a true 4K experience in the end? Basically, the PS4 had some reports about it catching on fire because, one, it got a little too hot, and that's not a good sign. The point is, are people going to be willing to do this? Unless you have games. Here's the thing. The one thing about the PlayStation is when it presented the VR, it basically said that, yeah, you're going to have it released games, or is releasing games. Well, like I said, when PlayStation released the VR, they made games exclusive. When they made games that had VR compatibility, they also said, hey, we're not just doing VR versions of this, we're doing regular versions as well. So you have a choice. We're not just releasing the VR version, we're releasing the regular version so people have a choice. And I'm not saying Microsoft's not doing that either, but it's like, unless you're going to say that the games you release are not going to have some kind of, I'm not just going to say Xbox One, but they're going to say something like Xbox One 4K or Xbox One X on top of the case, on top of the game case. Then, that's, how do I put it this way? You're basically telling people, if you don't do that, you're basically telling people, oh yeah, this is just a regular Xbox, we just made it better. Here's the thing about it. Here's my thing about it. You hype up Project Scorpio. You say you're going to make the most powerful console ever. You say it's going to be better than the Sony PlayStation, than what Sony has, than what Nintendo has. And that's great and everything. That's great. You want to hype it up. But if all Project Scorpio is just your answer to the PlayStation Pro, that's not good. That's not really good. I mean, like I said earlier, yeah, you could have all these great, specs and text and all that, saying, oh, it's all powered mostly by this Scorpio engine, and oh, it's the smallest console ever made, it's the most powerful one. You could say all that, but it's like people said, from Angry Joe to anybody else, unless come November you have several games that are going to prove your point, and they're going to prove that plucking down $500 just to get another Xbox One is going to be worth it, especially one with 4K. This is not a good presentation. And besides, with today's technology, you could have easily patched these into you could have easily made these patchable DLCs. In other words, you guys like to do system updates like Sony does and Nintendo. You could have easily put this all together and said Project Scorpio is going to be a huge downloadable system update that will drop on said date that you're going to have the Xbox One X be released. And by doing that, at least just saying, yeah, you're going to get Project Scorpio, or you're going to get it, but you're going to have to download it. And if you want to, you could put a price on it if you want. You could say, yeah, you want the Xbox One, you want the new Scorpio experience? Here, just pluck down $79 or $99 for it. And we'll give you a code to download it. Or you could just pluck down $79 to $99 for it through the store, and heck, there you go. It would be easier. It would be easier because what you would be doing, in a sense, is you would be sending all that technology, all that system updates and software. That essentially, that's what this Xbox One X is. It's nothing more than an upgrade. It's nothing more than a major league update that could have easily been done through downloadable system update, then maybe you could say, hey, we'll charge them $99 for it just so they can get this Major League update. You don't need, honestly, to build a new system to do this. PlayStation has proven that you can get the same HDR experience and maybe the same 4K experience through downloadable patches, through downloadable system updates. Yet a PS4 kind of helps out, but look what they also did in answer to, oh, well, maybe some people don't want to buy a PS4 Pro. They're now allowing people to use external hard drives to save the games, save the data. And the thing is, Microsoft could have easily gone out and done something similar. Now, yes, they have announced that that's what you're going to get as well, but what I'm saying is that they could have easily just said, look, yeah, we'll bring out the Xbox One X. Yeah, it's going to cost maybe not $499, but maybe $349 at most. And in retaliation to that, let's say people don't want to go buy an Xbox One X. You also announce that, oh, by the way, all these new specs and everything, and HDR and we're also going to send some of this to you guys via downloadable system updates that, oh, by the way, you may have to pay a fee for. It would make sense to do it that way. You give people the option of, oh, do we buy a new system, or do we just download the system update that may cost us probably about $100. You see, that's what you do. That's what you do, in my opinion. Now, again, I'm not in charge of Microsoft, and if they, along with other gamers, casual gamers, hardcore gamers, whatever, if they feel, hey, this is going to be great, I'm going to pluck down $500 to get it, fine, that's your right. Fine, that's your right. But here's the thing. You're going to pluck that down, that's fine. That's your right. But I think, again, what Angry Joe kind of stated is true. Unless they come out right out of the gate when this gets released and prove to me, to him, to everybody that this is exactly what they say it is. If they have some kind of game or several kind of games that can prove their point, it's not going to be worth buying. Because all you've done is just upgraded the Xbox One to a 4K system. Big deal. So you shrunk it down. You basically turned it into an Xbox One Slim. Big deal. Big deal. Again, I want you to notice something. Not many people are buying the PlayStation VR more so than the PlayStation Pro. You know why? Because they don't need the PlayStation Pro to play these on 4K televisions. And Sony, from what I understand, has already gone out and done certain downloadable system updates that allow you to do HDR and everything on your own PlayStation 4. There is no need. There was basically really no need for the PlayStation 4 to be made, but they did it anyway, right? And yes, some people bought it, some people okay with it, some people had problems with it. But here's the thing, everybody that has reviewed games, classic and modern, have all basically said the same thing. And what they have said is that as nice as this all sounds, it's not really worth it. It's not really worth it because all these systems are upgrades or updates of the current system because of 4K. When all these companies will have to do, and like I said, I think Sony has done this, all they have to do is just send an update, a patch, if you will, through the system update to, in a way, upgrade the current system to be 4K compatible. There's no reasoning for these new systems to be made because they are more or less just system updates of the current system, when these new techs and specs could easily be just done through downloadable system updates. And like I said, if you're Microsoft and you're like, well, we gotta make money somehow, here's what you do. You charge maybe for this special system update so that everybody gets this experience. You know, maybe the system update doesn't have quite the quality that the Xbox One X is going to have, as you would say, but at least it's close enough to where people can at least have a similar, if not the same, experience. Now, with that said, they did say one thing that is kind of a positive, but again, they got to prove this in the long run. They did say that through the whole family of Xbox One consoles, every generation, everybody's going to be able to play almost the same game all across these systems. All across these systems, they're going to be able to play the same game. So that's a positive in the direction. And as a positive, I will give them this, is bringing the original Xbox library of games to backwards compatibility on the Xbox One S and possibly the Xbox One X and Xbox One. And that's great. That sounds great. They even showed a demo of what these new remastered or more backwards compatible Xbox games, original Xbox games, are going to look like, how better they're going to look. So that's another positive in the direction. But the point I'm getting at, folks, I'm getting at, folks, is this. As great as those positives are, in a sense, Microsoft still has to prove everything they're saying is true. Because all Microsoft has done with this new system, as great as it sounds, all they've done is just do a system update on the Xbox One and Xbox One X. Xbox One S. Okay? That's all they've done. That's all they've done. Because you know why? Because you know why that's all they've done? Because if they truly wanted to create a new console, they would have given it a new name. They could have said Xbox Scorpio or Xbox whatever, and really would have shown off that it's no different. I mean, they're not different, no different, but they really would have shown off that it's way different than any console, than any Xbox console they've had before. That you're gonna have a new set of games specific for said console, and that later on may be available for the other consoles. You would have found a way to differentiate yourself, and maybe in the eyes of some people they did that, but in the eyes of many, like, okay, in the eyes of many they may have done that, but in the eyes of the other many, they didn't. So, again, I do agree with Joe. They're going to have to really step up the game and prove when the time comes for this console to be released. They're going to need games like Crackdown 3 and other games out there to really prove exactly what, you know, they're going to need these games to prove one or two things. That this is exactly what they say that this system is this console is exactly what they say it is, and it's worth plucking down money for, or they're going to have to come out and apologize for lying to people and just come out and say that they did it because PlayStation did it before. So we'll just have to wait and find out. But I got to get back to work, folks. But those are just my thoughts on Microsoft's presentation, and mostly my thoughts on the Xbox One X. Let me know what you guys think down below. What are your thoughts? I have to head back. I am out.